is everybody doing tonight? I am doing okay. I hope you all had a good Saturday too. So, today found out that World of Horror got an update, so naturally, I'm gonna be playing that. Huh, Blood Mood. New additional action preparing for investigation will equip all playable characters with their new unique signature items like Vanity Mirror, Kyrie's Bag, or Anatomy Book, and more. New mystery. Freakish fable of the frightening flood will take the players on a rescue mission to a village slowly disappearing under the water. Drenched clothes and mud will be the least of their worries. New character. Something terrible is stalking the hunted heiress, and with each passing day, its presence is getting nearer and nearer. Can you save Shiokawa before it catches you? Additional enemies for each location, including Tapeworm Salaryman, Human Lantern, and more. New curses, injuries, and town status effects, including Blood Moon, Curfew, Heart of Darkness, and more. Okay, that's really great. Oops. Okay, I think we're good here, so let's see here. We are going to start a whole new story. And we are going to do a quick play. And we're going to see what happens, although I think what we're going to do is... Well, actually, let's see the quick play. Hello, Private Maverick. Alright, give me 1 second. I'm just gonna let some people know that I'm streaming. Alright, so we're back in Shiokawa, bad stuff's going on. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you can see it, but I got some new hair clips. Little twin stars. I went on a shopping trip to H Mart earlier today. Unfortunately, H Mart is the closest Asian market to me now. There was one up the street a few exits back, and unfortunately, it burned down a couple weeks ago. While we were on vacation, I saw a news report about it on Twitter. I'm like, oh my god, I know that place! And I'm just really sad about it because of the fact that they were all very nice there, and they had a good selection, and I don't know if they'll ever be able to open up again. Alright, so the discharge summary. Discard for 20 experience. And let's head back and start our search. Alright, so we have 5 mysteries. We're going to do the spine-chilling story of School Scissors and hopefully do the ritual right this time. Okay, so that's what the sigil looks like. It looks like a 5-pointed star with a line and 2 circles. You back off from the toilet as the door slowly opens. A girl in a tattered uniform is standing there. Her head twists unnaturally as she makes a roaring, rattling noise. A door behind you slams shut. A toilet ghost. It's a ghost enemy. Corpse dust. Alright, we've got ourselves a new follower, Thermo SCM. Thank you for the follow. Something's wrong. Instead of a clear blue sky, you see the bloated corpse of a long-forgotten deity looming over the school's roof. The barrier between worlds is coming apart. You must hurry or risk being noticed by whatever other eldritch horrors still lurk here. Let's get the hell out! You raise your head in time to see Afyolaz's single eye glaring down at you. You scream as your mind is flooded with forbidden knowledge and your skin is etched with ancient runes and curses. Okay, we found the blessed chalk. So let's see. Alright, so let's see what the diary says. Okay, so it's a curved line. It needs to be a straight line. I think this is good. Alright, so now we have to find the candles for the ritual. Ooh, a kendo helmet. You catch a glimpse of an art class. One disturbing painting draws your attention. You gasp in pure horror. The twisted faces, impossible angles, and enormous monoliths make you sick. Okay, blessed candles and holy chalk found. Oh wait, blessed chalk and holy candles. Okay, so, let's do this. Wait, what's that? You take a step back as a writhing, amorphous mass slowly takes shape. Soon it becomes a tall, woman-like creature with 3 faces all connected by a wide smile. Now it is your chance to fight and defeat this horror. It is also your only chance. Corpse dust. -2 to luck and +20 to experience. Might as well use it. Alright, let's do this thing. Twisting and twitching, the demon woman enters the classroom, cackling menacingly. Am I beautiful? Ancient horror lies dead on the classroom floor, slowly dissolving into nothingness. You find your friend gravely wounded but alive. You help him, and you limp away from the school as the police sirens get louder. Spine-chilling story of school scissors ending A. Scissor Woman is gone for good. Or is it? You shudder knowing the urban legend will inspire another kid in another city to try and summon the eldritch being. The old god stirs. The friendly dog disappeared last night. You will have to find a new place to buy equipment. Aw, darn. that sucks because... the dog is the best part. You can actually go to the store and boop him on the nose. Alright, so, ooh, Yakuza card. One additional slot becomes available in all slots, on all shops. Remove the illicit tag from all items. +1 to luck. +1 to charisma. Okay, so, you know what? I'm gonna do the Yakuza card, and I am going to... let's see. I am going to increase my knowledge. Alright, so let's head back. Inside your mailbox, you find a small key. What is it doing in there? Alright, so, I'm gonna take a look at the TV. The TV host is gutting a big octopus. At least that's what she claims. Because there are way too many tentacles. Okay, so get myself some extra stamina returned. And let's see what my status is. Ah, cursed signs. Casting spells raises doom. I don't have any spells, and there's no rituals active, but I do have a kendo helmet. Okay, so let's see, there's another mystery that we can go solve. I don't know. We've got... let's see. We'll do the freaky feature of found footage. We've already managed to get all 3 of the endings in this, so it doesn't matter. 3 students disappeared in the process of making a documentary about the local folklore. Maybe you'll find a clue about their last known whereabouts in the school's newspaper. Despite your best efforts, you feel like the neighborhood is starting to change. The notes mention a village not far from your town. You decide to take a bus. Getting closer, you can't help but notice a large number of trees that have suddenly died. What happened here? Seeing the 2 chopped off heads, you can't help but wonder who's been preparing your food for the past week. The notes lying nearby tell of ancient civilizations and unspeakable horror. You've managed to learn an incantation, but the horrifying image will stay with you for a long time. Alright, so we've got ourselves a spell, and the spell is Third Eye. +1 knowledge and perception until the end of the mystery. At a cost of 3 reason. Everyone in the village is unsettlingly friendly. An old farmer points you to an old stone. The missing group supposedly started their forest trip there. So I need to go to the village, but I'll have to investigate the mansion twice in order to get some bonus items. Oh, I found a broken bottle. And I got myself another kendo helmet. The legends say the witch was buried alive for kidnapping and murdering 2 children. It points you in a specific direction, potentially saving you some time. As you walk through the village, crops waver in the breeze, following your every movement. Looking back one last time, you can continue deeper into the woods. Takahashi! You hear a chipper voice shout during a jog around the area. You turn your head to see one of your teammates in casual clothes smiling, blissfully unaware of everything going on. What's up, Captain? Notice anything weird recently? She shakes her head, throwing up her hands in a shrug. What makes you ask? Something wrong? You tell her not to worry about it too much. You part ways shortly after that. What was she doing in the woods? The rumored witch house seems empty. In the basement, however, you find a camera pointed at the large hole in the ground. On the table next to the camera, you see 3 cassettes, each titled after one of the missing friends. Then, you hear a curious sound coming from the hole. I'm getting the hell out of here. Not being able to deal with it, you decide to grab the tapes and run. You wander aimlessly through the woods for a few hours until you are found by a search party. You lead them to the house, but the door to the basement is missing. The case remains open. The old god stirs. Preparing for the worst, people are stocking up on everything, making it harder for you to find what you want. Another small key. Alright, so next mystery. The far-out fable of a fear festival. Your aunt had sent you a letter inviting you for a curious-sounding festival. It's held every 27 years in a small village. You don't like the sound of it, but your parents both agree you need a break from all the stress. Inside the letter, there's a bus ticket. What's the worst thing that could happen, you ask yourself as you board the bus? Today's goal, explore the weird village. Just when you thought your stomach couldn't handle it anymore, the jerky old bus stops at its destination. Someone is waiting for me. A fat man wearing dusty overalls approaches you. It's the inn owner, who promised to pick you up. Following close behind him, your eyes are drawn to his hands, which are so deformed they resemble claws more than hands. Your group has arrived in the village and is currently unpacking at the inn, giving you time to explore. Festival begins at evening. Let's see. Check out the inn. The inn's room is dusty, like it hasn't seen any visitors in years. You wonder if anyone cleaned it since the last festival 27 years ago. There's a folder of available activities lying on the table. Onsen sounds good. Alright, so we're max for stamina right now, so let's just explore the village. The trail to an abandoned Shinto shrine is overgrown and steep. However, it could be an important place to investigate. We're gonna take the safe route. Taking the safe route costs you time, but you get to the top without incident. Burnt out candle wax and dried blood around the shrine mean a new, sinister cult has claimed this location. Festival grounds is now open for visitors. Maybe you could check it out. There's still some time before the festival starts. The locals are seemingly busy setting up the stands and decorating the place. A few stands are already open, but you can't shake off the feeling something is wrong. It's getting late. Let's get some souvenirs then. And it's the doggo! Unfortunately, you can't boop his nose. Alright, so Taiyaki, Hoppy Coat. Let's put on the ritual mask. Ghastly pale yellow in color. A weird sound wakes you up. You step closer to the window and look out. You can't see anything and get ready to go back to bed when suddenly the moon comes from behind the thick clouds. 3 hooded figures are standing at the forest's edge, one by one. They light their torches and disappear behind the trees. What was that about? They all wore strange masks. Should you follow them into the forest or try to find more information about the festival? So we're gonna go into the forest. A parasitic organism burrows under the bark, undulating slowly. All nearby trees are connected underground. The main branch leads east. You make a mental note to avoid the region. Something is watching you from behind the trees. There. Would you like to test your luck at this fine game? We've got a winner! The creepy vendor hands you your prize. See you soon! Going back to the inn, you overhear two masked villagers. They are talking about something awakening up at the next dawn. You wonder what's up with that. Oh! Level up! Signed contract, quick thinking, core strength. I'm gonna take core strength, and I am going to add to my luck. Why is it so quiet all of a sudden? Is that blood? Where is everybody? Trail of blood and sickly smelling sludge leads to an outskirt of the village. Somewhere in the dark forest, there's an answer waiting for you. You are surprised to find a well-dressed man sitting on a rock in the middle of the forest. When you get closer, however, you discover that he's wearing a realistic mask that falls on the ground. Do you have a moment to speak about this product? Ah! I've defeated the dream salesman. Following a trail of rotten fruit, you stumble on a small forest shrine. It's probably dedicated to some local spirit. The small statue looks alien and menacing. Meh. You topple the evil-looking statue. Nothing seems to happen, but you have a terrible feeling about it. While exploring the factory, you are caught by masked people you've seen from the inn's window. Tied up, they bring you to the cult leader. We knew you'd come, you hear a raspy voice, your aunt's voice, coming from behind the priest's weird mask. She signals towards the door behind her. Our master is waiting for a final blood sacrifice. With a loud bang, and the ancient horror disappears, and the high priest falls to the floor, grabbing their shoulder. The last thing you see before blacking out are the beams of flashlights in a hand of a police officer saving you from a fall. Later that day, detectives interrogating you are confused when you tell them about the ritual, blood, and eldritch being. The village is abandoned, with no trace of blood anywhere. You were the only one seeing the ancient horror. While you couldn't catch the leader of the cult to interrogate them, the people are safe. You board the old bus, wondering what would happen if you didn't stop the ritual in time. The old god stirs. Roads leading out of town were closed by the police. You'll have to find a new way out. And it's another small key. Demolition of an old inner-city shrine has resulted in an array of unfortunate accidents and, most recently, the death of 6 people suspected of the arson. Alright, we're back up 1 reason. And let's see, we've got the Bloody Brief of a Beckoning Bulletin, Bizarre Brute of the Blood-Curdling Botanist, okay, so this is the bulletin, the computer bulletin board that causes people to commit suicide. Okay, we're gonna help the dog. No! Following the ghastly music, you find yourself in a forest. The sound is getting closer. A ribcage woman. What you thought was just a discarded pile of clothes suddenly moves. As it stands up, a cloud of white powder is released into the air. A forgotten specimen! Wait, what's that? A lump of flesh. It's undulating slowly. Slimy and smelly, what is it? It's pulsating slowly in your hand. I'm gonna eat it. You've gained a new status. Holes. Each day, more holes appear. Okay, so we are going to be using a member of the computer club's computer. You can hear a faint sobbing sound coming from an alley nearby. There, you approach a man on his knees. When you take a step closer, he suddenly stops and perks up. You can hear a nauseating sound of tearing skin. Not wanting to wait for an elevator, you decide to take the rarely used stairs. You suddenly trip but grab the railing in the last second. When you get up to inspect what caused you to trip, you freeze in terror. It is slowly standing up. The Twisted Corpse. Oh god, we're almost out of reason. I gotta get out of here. Okay. Add some more reason, and let's see, fame, faster combat actions for each ally you have, +1 for dexterity, and hot bath for improved resting at home. I'm taking that one. You enter the hospital looking for information about a certain patient. The main corridor is both dark and strangely empty. You spot a nurse at the registration booth. She's asleep from exhaustion. We'll sneak past her. You manage to sneak past her and rummage through the cabinet. Finally, you locate the information you were looking for. It certainly feels good to be back at home. You take a short nap on your bed. You sit on a couch and read your favorite book. Time flies by so fast, you prepare yourself to leave and continue your long investigation. An old priest is performing a ritual to appease a local demon imprisoned underground. You're invited to join them. Guess not. Old man frowns and walks away. Following a weird light, you would abandon blah 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 blah. Following a weird light, you enter an abandoned village building. The whole room is illuminated by countless paper lanterns in many colors. One lantern, however, begins to get closer. A human lantern! I'm gonna get out of here. I can't run! Nothing happens. You think you got 3 ritual moves right. Ah! Oh no, I can't make it out. Okay, and I can't do that either. Oh dear. What am I gonna do? No! Aww. That encounter was the final straw. Your mind has snapped and you've been locked up in an asylum. It would be comforting to accept that you were insane, that no old god is awakening to devour humanity. But the drugs haven't made these horrors disappear. let's try that again, shall we? The thing forsaken by God. Alright, so I decided to switch to an easier difficulty level, so oh, and also macabre memoir of morbid mermaids. The janitor was obsessed with mermaids. He's collected every scrap of the legend about them in the school basement. Now his mind has snapped. He's decided it's time to make one of his own, using unfortunate students' bodies as materials. There's one thing everyone at school is talking about. Another girl from your area has gone missing. Could there be anything connecting all the missing people? I should investigate downtown next. Now let's take a look at the seaside. You decide to enter a small shady bar on the docks. Maybe some of the old fishermen can help you in your quest. However, persuading them to do so might prove difficult. Well, let's buy him around. No fisherman would refuse a free round. They tell you tales of sunken cities inhabited by underwater things with too many legs. This summoning ritual must be stopped at all cost. Mr. Pachinko and Mr. Coin, everyone has something to sell. Oh boy. Oh boy. I'm getting the heck out of here. You may be growing crazy, but you can swear something is watching you from the sea. Let's visit the hardware shop. A crowbar, a carpenter hammer, a can of acid, and a shovel. Got myself a hammer. So now I have a weapon. And let's head over to the doggo shop and watch. Boop, 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 boop. Always keep a shovel around, makes a good bludgeon, and you can use it to hide the bodies. Eh, true that. Seeing the two chopped off heads, you can't help but wonder who's been preparing your food for the past week. I'm gonna call the cops. There was something in your version of the events that didn't add up. You've been detained, but due to the lack of evidence, the police let you go after 48 hours. Asking around the neighborhood got you some results. It seems that all the girls have attended the same school. You enter the kitchen, even though it's abandoned and the lights are off. Something is cooking in a large pot. You don't like the smell of it. Let's see. You slowly remove the lid from the pot. A thick, smoky, vile reek fills your lungs. The look of the ingredients used to make this broth make you sick. All missing girls were apparently members of the school swimming team. Maybe someone saw the kidnapper stalking them? You stumble upon the computer room. This is a good opportunity to check the school's database to look for anything that might help your investigation. You find a curious text file containing occult instructions. You delete it, preventing anyone from trying it. You find a notebook containing handwritten and detailed notes about the swimming club itself and mermaids. A nauseating stench stops you. Someone has scattered rotting fish guts everywhere and hung up countless fish heads. You cover your mouth as you slowly retreat. A vast flock of seagulls outside viciously attack the windows. Fish heads, roly-poly fish heads, fish heads, eat them up, yum. Whoever the kidnapper may be, they seem to be really obsessed about mermaids. Inside the science labs, you find a plan of the town's sewer system. Someone has marked a path leading from the sea directly to the school building. The only metro line in your town connects the university and the science complex. Oops! There's something wrong here. A weird apathy seems to infect every adult you ask for help. You will have to deal with it alone. It's been almost a year since a childhood friend moved away to another city. He left suddenly without even saying goodbye. In a recent letter, he apologized for the disappearance and asked you to remove the furniture from his flat because he wants to sell it. In the envelope, you find a key to his apartment. I'm gonna search his flat with a flashlight. You shine your flashlight in the dark closet and something glitters at you. You grab it as the moving company enters the house. A human skull. Constantly trying to speak. It twitches slightly. You compare the sewer plan with the school map and it suddenly dawns on you. School basement. That must be the place the kidnapper is keeping missing swimmers. You enter the school bathroom to wash your face with cold water. A sudden noise behind you stops you in your tracks. One of the stall doors is opened on its own. You might be paranoid, but there's no way you're risking an encounter with a ghost here. There is no turning back now. God, let's hope she is all right. You bust through the door to the janitorial closet, but it's already too late. The latest missing girl is lying on a dirty mattress. The upper part, at least. The tail of a fish has been crudely sewed in place of her legs. She was too weak and died, you hear the mad janitor say. He looks you up and down. Maybe you'll do. Not giving up after the previous failure, the obsessed janitor has found another body to experiment on. You! Oh, damn. Mad janitor's body slumps to the floor. You pick up his axe and, using it as a crutch, you try to leave the room. Injured and weakened, you slowly lose consciousness on the school corridor. Police officers find you a few hours later. No trace of the mad janitor is found, but you will sleep a little better tonight knowing that the other students are safe. The old god stirs. But first, let's gain a level. Okay, quick thinking, fast swimmer, or outdoorsman. So I'm going to do fast swimmer, and I am going to increase my knowledge. The crimson moon spotted over Shiokawa keeps everyone on the edge. All enemies... Yeah! All enemies get an additional 20 power. Oh gosh. Alright, so we are going to investigate the rotten report of a rancid ramen. You wouldn't know where to find a buyer for it? Yeah, I'm discarding this. I'm discarding this too. You sneak into the alley at the dead of night, gagging. You look inside the restaurant waste. It's a vile pulp. A few chunks of meat look promising samples, though. Rancid meat of an unknown source. Disgusting. Mr. Maru, your neighbor, is a horror manga artist. He's struggling to come up with a satisfying ending for his newest story. I'm gonna share my experience. Not enough experience. Sadly, you don't have any recent stories that would help him. At least the public won't experience the same horrors you did. Loud knocking wakes you up in the middle of the night. "Open up!" shouts the deep voice from behind the door. "I know you're there!" Before you can answer, the door's letterbox suddenly opens and an unknown invader tries to look inside. Luckily, you manage to stand still. After a couple of minutes, the man retreats, probably unsure if you're home after all. The telephone sounds and multiple voices are too loud for you to ignore. When you enter the apartment, everything gets silent. A gossip junkie? Oh, jeez. Salt, camera, flashlight, energy drink, cigarettes. Let's get a discounted item. And I got an empty bottle. Yep, doggo store. Alright, we managed to stop them from stealing my wallet. You can hear a faint sobbing sound. Ah, it's the glued corpse. When you enter a metro car, you notice an oddly shaped package on the seat next to you. It's marked with your name. You reach for the package but hesitate, an icy feeling settling into the pit of your stomach. As soon as you pick up the package, you realize what you are holding and drop it in horror. You are losing blood. Badly bleeding. Oh, jeez. With the pulling of some delicate strings, you get the ramen into a lab. While handing over the gathered material, you hesitate. What should you send to the laboratory? You look at the charts and cannot believe your eyes. While the standard test didn't detect anything weird, adding drops of human blood revealed something horrible. Whatever this thing is made of, it's alive, beating a soft pulse against the glass. Your friend leaves you with the papers, muttering an excuse and preparing to flee town on the next train. Prepared for a fight, you march down to the restaurant. However, you find no eldritch horror to duel. Instead, you're shocked to find nothing but a gap in the street. You ignore the distraught customers still lining up where they remember the entrance. Investigating the grounds, you see something glisten where the kitchen used to be. Cautiously, you look at the chunk of meat, and then jump back with a yell. As it flexes, it opens a weary eye, grins, and wanders off on stubby black claws. You walk home shaken in your head. You hear the weird ramen breathing in its bowl. You only stop to throw up on the street. The whole town stopped receiving any outside signal. It must be the radio mast failure. Another key. Give ourselves a... let's see what my status is. I'm gonna... we can change our clothes. Let's see. Captain, that's the current one. Teacher's pet. Gym clothes. Vanity jacket. Sakhalin. Okay, we've got two last mysteries to solve. The curious case of a contagious coma. More and more people fall unconscious and cannot be awakened. People trying to wake the patients up result with them falling into a coma themselves. A whole wing of the town's hospital has been dedicated for the comatose. Is there anything connecting these people, and how did this strange illness start? So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to try to get the alternate ending for this. I already have the main ending. You immediately understand that the only difference between you and the crazy person is that you haven't been caught yet. You convince them to sneak out and join you in your quest, plus ally. So we now have an ally named Kyoko, a missing hiker. Kyoko sniffs. What's that smell? Oh, I got a bottle of milk. And another level! I don't have any spells, so... You're stopped by a masked man wearing a lab coat. He introduces himself as a researcher from Tokyo University, testing a new treatment method that would revolutionize modern medicine. Holding out a pile of documents, he tells you he can heal your wounds for free. You just need to sign here. Yeah, no thanks. You've managed to sneak through the door, avoiding the police, and finally reach the quarantine wing where all the coma patients were brought in. Their pulse is slowly weakening and the blood pressure dropping. You must hurry. Complete silence of this place hits you when you reach one of the beds. All patients are dead. Shaken, you sneak out from the hospital. One thing is certain, though, with no sick people, it's the end of this weird illness. The old god stirs. Riots. Dangerous bands of rioters are gathering around downtown area. The police are hopeless. And another key. Moo Moo brand. Tasty milk. The Far Out Fable of a Fear Festival. Following a weird light, you enter an abandoned village building. The whole room is illuminated by countless paper lanterns in many colors. One lantern, however, begins to get closer. You break out into a cold sweat when you see the street vendor's twisted grimace. You back off, wishing it was only a mask. You've stumbled upon a forgotten bookstore in a small alley. The interior is cluttered with dusty old tomes, animal bones, weird vials, and stuffed exotic animals you don't even recognize. "Can I help you?" asks the tiny man behind the counter. "I have things that will surely help you in your quest." Nope. Why is it so quiet all of a sudden? Is that blood? Where is everybody? Ooh, I got a spell. Expel evil. Walking through the forest, you spot a pair of legs sticking out of a bush. Before you can do anything, however, they twitch and move. can go up a level. Okay, so art knowledge, quick thinking, or leadership. I'm gonna do art knowledge and +1 to knowledge. Luck check, success. It's just a creepy scarecrow. Relieved, you decide to leave the area just in case. The sun is slowly rising as you get closer to the abandoned industrial building, cautiously entering the factory. You can't help but notice the forest got totally silent. You were not the only one trying to stop the ritual and save your friends. Special forces have raided the occult hideout, arresting the suspects. Led outside, the handcuffed cult leader suddenly stops. "You are too late," they say in a raspy voice. "Our Lord is free once more." The old god stirs. Local scientists are baffled. An unprecedented aurora-like event has bathed the entire town in unnatural green glow. Wait. Oh, okay. I think it's time for me to go to the lighthouse. The ominous lighthouse has been closed down for longer than you can remember. Multiple padlocks prevent you from entering the building. You need 5 keys. You've finally made it inside the cursed lighthouse. Your gut is telling you 2 things: that whoever, or whatever, is behind the weird events must be on the highest floor of this place and that you should run as far as you can. You're afraid there won't be a way back once you start climbing these stairs. Start climbing. Following the winding staircase, you are stopped by darkness. A thick black cloud is obscuring your vision, and you can swear something is waiting for you inside of it. The light source seems to somehow repel the darkness, and you continue to climb the staircase safe. Following this winding staircase, you are stopped. Wait a minute! Someone broke into your apartment, stole all clues and newspaper clippings, and pinned them here. The more you study them, the discover you can't remember any of them except one. Select the title of a mystery you investigated as the second one. You rip the newspaper clipping of a case you seem to remember. Underneath it is a tiny button. You press it, and with a buzz, the gate opens. Following the winding staircase, you are stopped by a metal gate. The tiny page nailed to the gate explains that opening the gate will require you to grab 2 metal rods. Using your own body as a natural conductor, you will power up the gate. You grab the rods, electricity flowing through your body and burning the nerve endings. The pain is almost unbearable, but with a buzz, the gate opens. Following the winding staircase, you find a metal gate that blocks your way. A cable that should be powering it is currently disconnected. The power box itself is covered in a weird, moist goo. Just inhaling the fumes makes your eyes itch and water, but to power the gate, you'll need to disconnect a faulty plug. You're surprised at how much effort it takes to disconnect the faulty plug. As you force it, the weird goo burns your fingers. Finally, you manage to separate the faulty plug and connect to the proper cable. With a buzz, the gate opens. Following the winding staircase, you are stuck. Wait a minute. Someone has been taking your photos. They focused on the enemies you fought with. There's something wrong, but you can't precisely say what. Oh boy. The enemy you fought is the second one. The dark clouds swirl around the lighthouse. Did you arrive too late? As the unnatural fog slowly lifts, you are relieved and collapse on the floor. Next day, everything feels like a bad dream. You've managed to stop the ritual awakening of the eldritch old god. But what's done is done. It will stir in his slumber again and again until the stars are right again. Congratulations! You are safe. For now. Alright. Achievements. As Aiko, defeat the mad janitor. Stamina loss, reason lost, mouth slit, lost in the other world, survived. Okay, so... Select your challenge. Going cold turkey. I think I've chosen the worst time to quit. Automatically discard all acquired cigarettes, start with a bottle of water instead. Ghastly presence, don't you see the person following me? Only after your photo shoot was cancelled you discovered that every business in Shiokawa is closed. Did everyone move out, or... Alright, let's do this. Your family was cursed. Everyone around you will die. You start the playthrough with more funds, but can't have any human allies. Ikumi suddenly died! Okay, so we're going to do the Coma mystery, and we're going to investigate in the proper area. fire beads. Survivor's guilt. It's a bad time to be out of cash. Walking through the hospital corridor, you hear disgusting slurping sounds coming from a closet. A bloodsucker. Use the Dust of Seeing. Following the old man's advice, you throw the Dust of Seeing in the air. It reveals weird, elongated monsters hanging from the ceiling, one above every bed. Each creature is connected to a patient with an undulating tendril. As you try to process everything, one of the disgusting creatures raises its head and looks in your direction. The creature causing the contagious coma plaguing your town has taken notice of you. You must defend yourself or perish. This isn't good. The monster seems to gain its strength from the sleeping patients. Unplugging life support of one of them will weaken it, but kill that patient. Oh, snap. The bizarre brute of the blood-curdling botanist. Feeling like you are on the brink of losing your mind, you decide to visit your parents' old friend, Father Yasugi. "Hey, kiddo," says the priest, who's currently moving some boxes in and out of the church building. "Could you lend me a hand?" Lifting the box, you feel your back cracking, but you manage to get it all over with relatively quickly. Afterwards, Father Yasugi invites you inside for a cup of hot tea and home-baked cookies made by one of the parishioners. You explain your situation to him. The priest listens, letting you vent all of your doubts and anxiety. It's getting dark as you arrive at the cemetery, and shadows move in fantastic and unaccountable ways between the tombstones. Finding the right grave may prove to be a challenge, especially when you feel someone's gaze on your back. Darn. Okay, so, character, random, backstory, medical history, world of horror. Okay, so Kirie,
No.
Aiko, Haru, Mizuki,
No.
photographer, Koji,
No.
and Mimi. Ooh! So she's a med student. Ooh. She'll be an initiate. The occult capital of Japan. Okay, let's do this. Somewhere, a group of people gathers, trying to awaken their master. The supposed cause of destruction of the Library of Alexandria, a perfect black marble statue, has been recently discovered and is currently waiting in the Museum of Maru 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 for its long-awaited premiere. Mimi's obsession. Okay, let's change some clothes and see what Mimi dresses as. Nurse, good girl, actual nurse, tank top, pop culture, surf. We'll have her be a good girl. Alright, so here are the mysteries. We'll do the alarming account of abnormal arms. While taking an elevator, you get a terrible feeling as if something bad is about to happen. The elevator doors open. Elevator doors open, revealing a black mass of eyes and teeth pouring into the elevator, biting and suffocating you. Later, you wake up in a doctor's office. A nurse discovered you lying unconscious on the elevator floor. You blend in with the hospital staff and make your way into an unmarked ward where a particular patient catches your eye. They look to be catatonic, eyes glazed over, shallow breathing, but of most interest are the irregular growths along the abdomen. You wouldn't be much of a nurse if you ignored them, right? They need help. You eagerly pull on your spare pair of surgical gloves and probe at the growths, making mental notes about the texture and shape. When you're back home with your textbooks, you realize that it doesn't match any known diagnosis. Isn't that amazing? You need to do some more digging later. Let's check out the doggo shop. Get a flashlight. Cool. Following the agonized screams, you discover a man with a horribly disfigured arm. Something murky and crystalline seems to explode out from the bone and up through his skin, his muscles spasming in pain. He pleads for you to help. Sure is a good thing you found him. Perform surgery. Working quickly but carefully, you manage to excise the protrusions before they can continue spreading. You stitch up the last gashes and escort the man to the hospital. A heat wave continues with record temperatures. Continuing your investigation takes more and more effort. Wandering through an empty corridor, you find an old vending machine. You don't recognize the brands of sodas inside, but you could really use a drink. Ah! You buy a can of off-brand soda, and when you reach for it, something inside the machine catches your hand. You have to jerk it out, injuring yourself. Ouch. Mr. Maru, your neighbor, is a horror manga artist. He's struggling to come up with a satisfying ending for his newest story. You catch a glimpse of the painted thing. Suddenly, you feel very weak and excuse yourself to leave. Something truly evil has you in its grasp. You enter the dark boiler room and trip over the pipe. Cursing, you find a light switch and gasp in horror. It's not a pipe at all. It's a long, rubbery arm coiling around the room and ending in a ventilation shaft. Coming closer, you can smell something vile and rotten. You cautiously crawl inside the vent, determined to solve this macabre mystery. Nothing could prepare you for the source of the skittering sound getting louder and closer. I forgot to equip my... Aw, man. I'm sorry, Mimi. You've defeated the vent crawler. After the police have arrived, the whole building was searched. Following the disgusting body, the detectives enter one of the flats. Inside the slimy lair, there were countless giant semi-transparent eggs. When broken, they revealed horrible centipede human fetus hybrids. You are questioned thoroughly while the government people dressed up like gas company clean up the apartment. You are eventually released, but can swear that at night you can still hear the faint skittering sounds coming from the veins. The old god stirs. A sudden blast of heat grabs your attention. An older man standing next to you screams in pain as he's engulfed in fire from seemingly nowhere. As other people start to panic and help the burn victim, you spot a hooded woman standing in the distance. When she sees you, she starts to run. You can't shake off the feeling that you were the target of this supernatural attack. The hooded woman disappears behind a corner, and when you get there, she's gone, already mixed in with the crowd. They failed to stop you today, but you're sure they'll try again and again. Alright, we can level up. Alright, anatomy class, and more dexterity. What you thought was just a discarded pile of clothes suddenly moves. As it stands up, a cloud of white powder is released into the air. A Kinoko Gatherer. Whoosh. You have a feeling someone is following you. You topple the evil-looking statue and discover a bundle of money beneath it. You find a pile of human teeth lying on a nearby rock. It's said that a famous priest died on this rock. Perhaps his mysticism has seeped into it. Following the ghastly music, you find yourself in a forest. The sound is getting closer. Ugh. I'm getting out of here. The rumored witch house seems empty. In the basement, however, you find a camera pointed at the large hole in the ground. On the table next to the camera, you see 3 cassettes, each titled after one of the missing friends. Then you hear a curious sound coming from the hole. You kneel down and lean forward to see what's inside the hole. It takes a while to process what you were looking at. It's a gigantic eye staring right at you. Hypnotized, you continue to lean in, feeling weaker and weaker as the gargantuan beast lures you in. I came prepared. You open the can of acid and empty its contents in the well. The house's foundation shakes as the massive creature's eye burns. Walls begin to collapse as you pass out from the toxic fumes. You wake up later with the cassettes in your trembling hand. The witch's house is nowhere to be seen. With more and more students missing, the school police has restricted access to the school's building. And another key? The bizarre brute of the blood-curdling botanist. Modern medicine can't help here. This door shouldn't be there. It shouldn't lead anywhere. More importantly, it shouldn't pull you in. Wait, why is it suddenly so dark outside? You stand by the window to take a look. Black smog emerges from the courtyard, coating everything in an oily vapor. Sludgy vapors rise slowly upward, forming a perfect spiral. You back away from the window, surprised by this curious phenomenon. Alarmed by the sound of glass breaking, you discover the corpse of a policeman lying in a pool of blood. It looks like someone, or something, tore out his throat. They didn't tear out his throat, but instead carved an occult symbol with something sharp. You try to remember the shape and escape before anyone arrives. Your friend welcomes you with a strange smile. I knew you'd come back, they say, letting you inside the kitchen. A naked man wearing a bag over his head is tied to a chair. His left thigh has already been stripped of meat. Your friend picks up a meat cleaver and takes a step towards the man. Okay, so I'm gonna do art, knowledge, and strength. Drooping tree branches hang over the path, framing it in an almost macabre way. It's almost inspiring. You are surprised to find a well-dressed man sitting on a rock in the middle of a forest. When you get closer, however, you discover that he's wearing a realistic mask that falls on the ground. Do you have a moment to speak about this product? Ah. Getting out of here. I can't run? Oh no! Wow, that was close. You discover an old campsite located on the edge of a small clearing. The tent has been knocked down, and the food and utensils have been scattered everywhere. Finally, after what felt like hours of following the dirt road, you find the old mansion. It's completely overgrown with plants you've never seen before. In front of the mansion, there's the gardening company minivan filled with boxes. Slowly, you enter the building with caution. You stand in the middle of the room when suddenly the floor gives up and you fall down to the basement. Falling through the hole in the floor, you find yourself in an overgrown basement. In the corner lies a man you recognize. It's Shiro-san, the missing gardener. You must help him escape this cursed place. The top of Shiro-san's head flies off, revealing his brain. Out of it, the fruiting body of a fungus. Oh boy. This is not going to work. That encounter was the final straw. Your mind has snapped and you've been locked up in an asylum. It would be comforting to accept that you were insane, that no old god is awakening to devour humanity. But the drugs haven't made these horrors disappear. Alright, we'll do one more round and then I will leave things off for the evening. gonna be right back. I need to get some water. Sorry about that, folks. I'm back. Alright, so we are going to choose a new mystery. The Macabre Memoir of Morbid Mermaids. You try to avoid mirrors, afraid of what could be waiting for you on the other side. Ocean is hungry. You're stopped by a person with a knife. They look incredibly sad. It wants me, but I'm afraid I'm too much of a coward to do it to myself. Can you help me? Unable to convince the person, you close your eyes as they jump off the cliff. Boop, 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 boop. Walking through the park, you find a little girl crying alone in the playground. When you ask what's wrong, she says that she can't find her mommy. Luckily, you spot the girl's address on a backpack lying nearby. You offer to take her home. When you get there, the terrified mother slams the door in her face. From behind the door, she starts screaming to get the girl away. The little girl calmly tells you that she can take it from here. Ooh, enthrallment. Gain an additional follower at the cost of 4 reason. a new spell, the Book of Gore. Plus 3 reason and stamina, and add 1 random injury. Against your better judgment, you approach the doll. What you see makes you gasp in horror. The doll isn't a doll. Your sudden movement causes tiny black spiders to flee, revealing a white, half-eaten corpse. Whoa! Stop right there! You hear a voice coming from behind you. You won't destroy my life's work. An obsessed fan. Obsessed man, I should say. She said she would do everything to be with you, even if it meant to cheat death itself. A stalker girl. Wait, what's that? An occult diary. There is no turning back now. God, let's hope she's all right. You bust through the door to the janitorial closet, but it's already too late. You've defeated the mad janitor. And we've gotten up a level. Occult signs, leadership, and running shoes. Let's see. I'm going to do occult signs, and I am going to increase my dexterity. The old god stirs. We'll do the rotten report of a rancid ramen, because that's pretty quick. It's the gossip junkie again. Oh dear. Actually, you know what? Let's see. Ooh! Alright, we've got ourselves a new ally. Suddenly, an empty bottle breaks on the wall behind you. You cover yourself from the glass fragments and notice a masked assailant holding a baseball bat. A rioter. Oh! A prescription. It's for an expensive pharmacy drug. And that's it. We have been shipped off to the asylum. Oh well. Alright, in any case, let's see who is streaming right now. And we will rate them. Excuse me. Alright, it looks like we're going to be saying hello to Belle Aim again. And she is playing Xenoblade Chronicles 3. So anyway, people, I will be streaming next on Monday. Excuse me, on Monday night. It's gonna be at a different time, 8:30, because trick-or-treating ends at 8 o'clock in our neighborhood, and I want to make sure that I have time for prep and everything, because this is going to be a cosplay stream. And I will also be repeating my tradition from last year of playing Yume Nikki. So we will be playing that again, and that'll be Monday night. And then after Monday night, next week is going to be November. It is not only going to be NaNoWriMo, which I'm hoping to participate in a little bit, but it is Visual Novel November for the community game along. And I have a few possibilities as to what I would like to play, but I am still trying to decide. So I will say goodnight to everybody. We are going to raid Bell Aim in a couple seconds, so I will talk to you all later.